Well, hey YouTube, it's Elvis Ammo here. Hey, today I'm gonna powder coat a whole pot of bullets. That's probably 15 pounds or so. It's approximately a whole 20-pound pot, but because it wasn't exactly the whole pot, I'm just gonna call it about 15 pounds. You guys can be the judge of that. I don't think I need to try to weigh this, but it's a big old chunk of bullets. And I'm going to do two things today. I'm going to poke fun at those folks that like to set their bullets up on end. That's one reason I want to do the video, because I can't get enough of it. For all you folks that are OCD out there and stand your bullets up, I'm going to show you how to do a whole pile of them all at once, and this might be as much as I've ever done at one time, to be honest with you. So it might be more cumbersome than I want it to be, but for the purpose of poking fun, I'm going to do the whole thing. So anyway, that's one aspect of the video, and the other one is I want to mix some colors today. And so a lot of us powder coaters that are powder coating our bullets, we still have some Harbor Freight white, for instance. And I've done this in the past, and I love the results. And I actually tried to get the same results again just recently, and I didn't add enough white to my Ford Light Blue powder from Eastwood. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to attempt to get similar results from, if I can get kind of close, this is one of the bullets that I really like. Not only, and it's not just the color of it. I don't know if, can you see those specks real good? And it's not just the color of the bullet that I enjoy so much, but it's just seems like a really tough coating doing it this way. And so I thought I would mix some colors today and see if I can kind of come close to what I did before, and at the same time do a boatload of that's some heavy bullets right there. Do a boatload of bullets, and then I also want to mention, I've been told in the past, that I should talk about the safety of powder coating. Well, I'm not going to really go into a deep safety instructional today on powder coating, but I do want to remind people that when you're powder coating, first of all, you can go online or ask for the MSDS sheet, for the powder coat and all of those things. So I just want to remind people that this should be done in a ventilated area, that kind of thing. I know a lot of you guys already know that, but I thought that the person that mentioned it to me made a good point, that I should talk about, that this should be done safely. So that's all I'm going to say on that for today. I may do another whole video just on safety in powder coating. But with that said, there's one thing that you can do that I do from time to time. Like, for instance, this bowl lid leaks a little bit. So in order to prevent some of the dusting that may occur while shaking your bullets up, we can just put these in a bag like this. Alright, so for now what I'm going to do is, you can see this powder, or maybe you can't. I should probably add a little bit more light to the subject. I just brightened it up just a little bit here. Maybe you can see in this powder how it has some white specks in it. I've added maybe 15% approximately of this white. Now I will remind folks that when you're doing this, and I've also shook up these powders, okay? And when you're doing this, you should do small batches. I've done this several times. So you should always do small batches, because you can mess up your powder to where you'll have to preheat your bullets again in order to get them to coat, rather than just shake them in the bowl. And I may accomplish that today, but we'll see. But I'm willing to go through that process. But here's the Harbor Freight white, and I'm just going to guess and add maybe another, that looks like 10%, another 10% on top of the 15%, so that makes it 25% of white approximately. I'm gonna go with that. Alright, not to overdo. I'd rather underdo it than overdo it. So I may find that I'll have to preheat my bullets just by doing that. I'm just throwing out all the information I know. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold this bag up and just shake my powder up good. Get it all mixed up. Make you guys dizzy. So the other purpose of doing this, of powder coating these bullets, was just out of necessity, because I needed to powder coat these bullets, because I just received my long shot powder, and I decided that I wanted to use the same bullet for the long shot load up in 357 Magnum as I did with my Alliant 2400 powder. So we'll say that's shook up good enough for right now. So now we're going to throw all of these bullets in here, and I'm going to show you, or not show you. Now see, the powder lightened up a little bit. Now one thing about these powders is what happens, and one of the things that makes it so cool, but at the same time makes it more difficult, is these pigments and different powders with different formulas, they don't mix like you would think they would. They actually mix, but they stay separated, and that's why you see the specks on the bullets. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Different powders react completely different. One might mix to make a color that you like, where another one might mix in but not mix together, if that makes sense. So now that you're confused, let's do it. So now we're going to dump all of these bullets inside here. That's a lot of bullets, folks. That's a lot of bullets. So let's see if we can make this happen. So I'm going to go ahead, because I know that this bowl lid leaks just a tiny bit. I'm just going to do that. Alright, make it easier on myself. So now let's see if we can get this stuff to mix up. So I'm just going to simply toss it, because there's really not a lot of spinning that I can do with this heavy thing. So what I'm doing is I'm just flipping it and rolling it. And yeah, a lot of questions about this sort of thing anyway. So without even without even spinning it really. I tried to spin it. I'm just doing a toss. I'm just rolling it in all different directions. And we'll just see if that coats it. I may have made my powder where I've got to preheat. I don't know. We'll just see if that does it. That was in real time, so we'll just see what that does. Take a look at it and see if it works out. Yep, they're coated. Alright, you see that? Coated just fine. I didn't even spin them, I just rolled them. Here's the bullets. And I think that's going to work out. So now we're going to put them in the steel mesh, guys. Up there. Like that. Now that's a pile of bullets right there. And it's going to be heavy to shake them off. Make sure I have my oven open, ready to go. So I might have to get my fingers under it. That's it. And you see it might have a couple of little shiny spots here and there. Nothing to worry about. All of that's going to cook right over. So there we go. I'm just going to spread them out just like that. That's all I'm doing. Right in the oven. Oh, that's a heavy load. There we go. Alright. I'm going to let these cook and I'll bring you right back. From a cold oven, what I done was I just turned it on. I turned my dial on to 250 degrees because it's a large amount of bullets for about 13 minutes. That's where I have it at, and I just wanted you to see this powder. And you can see the real light white specks in it. And the reason I was showing you that is because you can see how it don't mix. It combines, but it don't really mix like liquid colors would, you know. These two powders don't agree with each other, so they stay separate, and that actually kind of makes it cool on the bullet, as I showed you earlier. So when these come out, I'll show you what I'm going to do with them. Alright, so I just pulled them out of the oven. Well, about 5 minutes ago, I should say. And this is what they look like. They're kind of, you can see they're kind of stuck there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dump them right inside this box right here. Something else that I've done in the past that I like. Just like that. You guys have seen me do this many different ways, and you know, little differences on what I do to separate the bullets. Now they're still hot to grab a hold of, but they're not steaming hot. And one of the things I've done in the past is I've thrown them in the box like this, in this big box, you know, and then I just kind of shook them up in here, and it seemed to break them up. Now sometimes when it's a little bit cooler, it might do better, so we'll just go ahead and try it right now though. Alright, I know that was very noisy, but pretty hot, but my hands are cold, so feels good. So that was that whole load. And as you can see, for you OCD folks, all these bullets are separated. I didn't even stand them on end. And that was a boatload of bullets. And whew, I'm beat. I put them in the oven and waited while I was setting my press up. The bullets, everyone is separate. Can you believe it? So now let's take a close up and you get to see any spot at all. Any spot at all. I'll even pick some up and point them out. Okay, there's some kind of spot, I think, right there. Yep, that's one of the worst ones that I see. As far as the color goes, can you guys tell the little bit of white speck in there? Let's see if I can make them out there. I'll just give you a good close-up of, I'll throw them on kind of spread them out there for you. Alright. I got that thing right up against the camera there for you. You can see. So these bullets are going to be, you know, shot at magnum velocities, and this is a great coat all the way around. I mean, there's really barely a mark on them. You know, there's definitely, I don't see any marks where they were stuck together, really. I just don't see any marks like that. Maybe there's some you know, that have, you know, barely a duller spot on it or something. They're absolutely 100% covered. So that's combining some colors. I just wanted you guys to see how you know, I might combine some different colors to make different colors that way, and just to do a big old boatload of bullets. You know, really, you know, I mean, this was the whole pot of bullets that I cast. Oh, I'm beating the camera here. Just so you can get an idea. That's a lot of bullets. And just one powder coating. So that's it, guys. I'll powder coating these bullets. We're going to be loading these up in another video using long shot powder, 357 Magnum. Hopefully I'll get some groups at 12 yards and at 25 yards, and we'll see how we like this new powder. See you in the next video.